Hi, my name is Dylan Hong and this is Dylan Hong Tech. Today we're going to be checking out the Acer KG240, a 144Hz monitor that I got for $133. And right now on Amazon, I'm actually seeing it going for around $130 to $150, so links in the description down below to check those out. You're probably thinking that a 144Hz monitor for $130 is ridiculously cheap, and you'd be right. So let's see how good it is. I filmed myself opening and setting up the monitor so you can actually see my first experiences, my first setup, and my thoughts there, and then I'm going to come back and talk about overview of the entire monitor as a whole. So my $130 monitor just got here in the mail, and we're going to unbox it, set it up, and see some first impressions. Alright, so this is refurbished, and I'm very blatantly reminded of that by the lack of any traditional packaging. It is just a monitor in a box. See, just monitor straight up in the shipping box. Power, display port, DVI. And now I'm going to boot my computer up with this monitor for the first time. So just from a first glance, the colors aren't actually that bad. I expected much worse from a cheap TN panel. The stand is a little wobbly, so not the best construction there. But colors do seem a little bit washed out. And it's super, super bright in a way that seems like it might be overkill, so you will have to play around with settings a fair amount. So I've only been playing with this monitor for a few minutes now, and my first impressions are that it doesn't actually look that bad. For $130, it's a pretty good price for any standard 1080p monitor. And while yes, at this price there are monitors that look a lot better, that have IPS displays, better viewing angles, better colors, this is a 144Hz monitor, 24 inches, 1080p, and not expensive. Like, for a monitor, not expensive at all. After having a few days to play around with the monitor, I have got to say that it is a really good monitor for the price. So yes, I did get this one refurbished, but on the Amazon store I actually didn't see that they were all refurbished. Some of them looked new for this price range. There were some issues out of the box with color calibration, so I would highly recommend going down into the description and checking out this Reddit thread that I used to calibrate my screen. It looks pretty good for a TN panel. Sure, the viewing angles aren't fantastic and the color accuracy isn't going to be the best that you can get, but once again, this is a $130 monitor that runs at 144Hz. The main thing that I was going to be doing with this monitor was playing CSGO, and those extra frames and that extra smoothness really helps out a lot, and having time to play some matches with this monitor, it's just a really enjoyable experience. It looks good. The extra frame rate is really noticeable, really enjoyable, and this monitor just handles it really well for $130. Also, when watching this video, be sure to keep in mind that 144Hz isn't something you can see through video because I only capture in 30 frames per second, but seeing this in person is game-changing. Being 1080p and a 24-inch panel, you're not going to have the highest pixel density, so things will be, under-sharpened in certain aspects depending on what monitors you're coming from. But if you're on a budget, have a PC that can pump out 144 frames per second and also just play high-speed FPS competitive games, this is a fantastic option. I am actually just really surprised by how good this monitor ended up being. The software is kind of clunky, the color calibration is bad out of the box, and the panel's a little bit washed out with brightness, and so I had to turn that brightness all the way down to 5 out of 100, but after playing around with it, it is really good for the price. If you've been thinking about getting a high refresh rate monitor for a while now, haven't really had the budget to spend $200 to $500 on the higher end versions, this is a really good option. You can get it today in the Amazon description down below, and I just highly recommend checking it out because it surprised me by how good it is. There are some issues with weird sharpening software on the monitor that there's a lot of stuff, bloatware almost, that you turn off in the monitor settings, but that calibration is really important, and it ended up being a decent looking monitor that also happens to have 144Hz refresh rate and smoothness, and it's super noticeable even when you're not playing games, when you're just browsing through the operating system, scrolling in text. Everything you do feels more responsive, it feels smoother, and it's really impressive. At the end of the day, I really enjoy this monitor, even if it's not the most color accurate or the best looking. Using it is really enjoyable. I've said that a bunch of times, but that's pretty much all I can say about it. My name is Dylan Hong, this has been Dylan Hong Tech. Like and subscribe for some more tech goodness, and thanks for watching.